Hello everyone, this is your guide to all things Ink the Book Show here, the 22nd and 24th President of the United States, John Wayne Gacy, with a message for the layman out there. Did you know that you, yes, you, can follow Ryan O'Connor at Wrangleshank on Instagram and Twitter? The link is in the description of this video. So even if you don't know how else to find it, just click the link in the description of this video. Also in the description, the link to the Bonehead Cartoon. That's right, another link in the description where you can watch a Bonehead Cartoon in its entirety for F-R-E-E. No questions asked. It's our Ink the Book Show gift to you. Furthermore, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and help this channel thrive. And now, on with the show.
It's time for Ink the Book Show with your host, Ryan O'Connor. And now, let's ink the book.
Hello, it's Ink the Book Show with me, Ryan. Had a good Memorial Day weekend. I couldn't remember what it was called for a second. And now I'm ready to get back to drawing. Let's get on it right away. I feel like it's been forever, but I think it's only been a day. The last show I did was only 2 panels. So we're going to do a page. And I like, I don't know if the last few pages, I'm getting a bit more dynamic in the layouts. I just, the panel layouts, they're getting a little more overlappy and stuff. More interesting instead of my regular kind of 6 panel kind of basic setup, because we're getting to the exciting stuff in the book. It's the climax-ish area. This ink is not kind of holding on my brush. Here we go. Just kind of got to get the ink saturated on my brush a little more. There we are. So if you know, you know. But if you don't, my name is Ryan O'Connor. I'm inking my first graphic novel called Bonehead. It's a 250-page book, and this is somewhere around page 169. Let me focus a little more by turning this one way or another. I think that's it. And I do this all in the spare change time of my life. So in between my job and hanging out with my family, my brothers and sisters and my parents and stuff like that. Or between church and things like that. Or when I'm not sleeping. Or watching new episodes of Stranger Things. I come over here to my art table and ink my graphic novel. And I try to get on here every day. I wasn't on here yesterday, Memorial Day, because my mom had like I think like a last minute get together planned. And I just try not to flake on my friends and family if I can help it. I like to be present when I can. But generally, most of the time, I try to squeeze in a page a day or something a day. So this is a fun panel or little chunk. I like these bottles getting thrown all over the place. So Bonehead, this guy here, the original idea was that Bonehead was going to be a video game idea. And in the video game, he would pull, ow, hit my glasses on the camera, take a shot, because I do it every day. It's a good thing I'm wearing the glasses, otherwise I'd be poking my eye out every day. But anyway, in the video game, he would pull these poison bottles out of his eye socket and throw them at bugs and stuff. Because he works at a poison factory. So there's a bit of that in the book where he just throws these bottles of laboratory experiments. They're not all poison in this book, even though it is a poison factory. It's just random stuff that he grabs, and some of them do different things. Like, I think it was the last page, or a couple pages ago. He throws one at this guy, and it shatters at his feet, and a flower grows out of the ground. This big flower springs up. And there's another one that smashes, and it's called Death by Fire, and it just starts a fire on the ground. Let's see. I'll get it out of my face a little bit by putting it a little closer. So yesterday, Memorial Day, right? Yesterday was Memorial Day, right? Yeah. I don't know. It's been a long weekend. They released Norm Macdonald's final little comedy special on Netflix. Me and my brother, we love talking about Norm Macdonald and watching Norm Macdonald. We both really enjoy and admire him. But So he died last year, but he had recorded in his living room him kind of delivering a set of material that he'd been working on, and just in case he never got to release it, knowing that he was ill with leukemia. And they released it yesterday. They kind of put it together and put it up on Netflix. And at the end, there's a like a featurette of it's Molly Shannon, Dave Chappelle, David Letterman, Conan O'Brien, Adam Sandler, and David Spade. 3 Davids. And they're all together and just kind of like talking about the material and talking about Norm Macdonald in his life. And oh, it was good. I'd actually heard all the material of the stand-up set before, because, you know, especially when he died, I was just like looking for anything he had to say. But even before he died, I was and just ravenously consuming everything. So I'd heard, I'd say 98% of the material to some capacity before, but it was good anyway. And it's good there's like a solid direction to point somebody at it now, you know what I mean? Rather than some random YouTube video where, you know, sound quality and everything, it's all kind of like questionable at best because it was recorded by some jerk in the middle of a theater or something. No, but it's good. Man, what I wanted to do, because me and my brother were gonna watch it together. My mom had, the day before, she had people over and was projecting movies onto their garage door. Like they watched Jurassic Park and A Bug's Life for the kids, my nieces and nephews. And I was saying to Liam, my brother, hey, we should, when everybody leaves, because we were kind of hanging out with my aunt and uncle and a bunch of people. I was saying, when everybody leaves, we should clear out the driveway, put the new special on the garage door and watch it outside. And that's what I wanted to do. But my mom had sent it home with my other brother because I guess she was lending it to them. So that spoiled that idea, which would have been really cool. Not the most dynamic thing to watch projected giant on your garage door, but it would have been even more special. But that reminds me, the name of it is Nothing Special with Norm Macdonald or something like that. But anyway, yeah, we really enjoyed that. What else? What else? What else happened this weekend? Something? One day this week, I believe it was Saturday this weekend, I probably talked about this already. I went to my brother's place and we had s'mores around a little fire pit in his yard. That's nice. I did start watching the new episodes of Stranger Things last night. First time, the first chance I got to dig into it at all was at like 2 in the morning last night. I was like, I don't care. I have nowhere to be tomorrow morning. For a change, I'm gonna stay up all night if I have to and watch some of this. So I watched like 2.5 episodes and then went to bed after it got light out and I couldn't stay up anymore. So I slept my morning away. I'm gonna do these little things flying past him first. So here's Bonehead tossing them, and here they are flying this way past him. It's kind of breaking a 180 rule, right? Where we're flipping the camera on something. Like usually it's on a character. That's the right. I think that's like the rule you don't break 180 on. I don't know. I'm not a cinema guy, but I'm not a very cinematically versed guy. But I know that's a thing to some capacity. And what the issue is we have these 3 bottles this way, and it's kind of confusing when we flip the camera and watch them going this way immediately. You know what I mean? But I like it anyway in this instance. It's probably not a good idea to consider yourself not very cinematic and try to make a comic. And I guess I'm probably I do. I wouldn't say I'm not very cinematic. That's not entirely true. But I just am not textbook versed in it as much as I could be, I guess. I know about that 180 rule. And I do animation and stuff, so I've got kind of a directorial mind for stuff sometimes. I'm not saying I'm a genius. I'm not saying I'm smart about it. One thing I never mean to be doing is tooting my own horn in any way. So don't hear me talking that way if it sounds like I am. That's all. That's all I just want to clarify that right now. Okay. Here's Denton Crux. I like his eyes because they're almost like inverted of a normal character's eyes because he's got this black main eye and then light in the middle where it's usually like a dark pupil or something and the white eye itself. So it almost makes him look evil just like right away. And it's a little less so with Bonehead because he doesn't. I don't know. He doesn't have the pupil, or he doesn't have the eyeballs in his sockets. Oh, you know what? I didn't do the. Here, let me go over this bottle, and then I'll do that other bottle that I skipped. I just want see there's these like faint movement lines that I'm doing for their movement. So I just want the physical object to be a little bolder than that. Because it's physically present on the scene. Whereas the other thing, it's not so physical, it's just an indication of movement. There we go. And I'm going to do this little puff of smoke here, or dust, or whatever. I don't know. There's Denton. So yeah, I stayed up late last night so I could finally check out some of the new Stranger Things. So I slept this morning away, and then I got up and tried to rush into a bunch of chores. I've got laundry in right now. I've got a mountain of laundry in right now that is currently drying. And when it's dried, I'm not going to want to put that laundry away. I know it. It's like the most daunting chore I have. What's my comic about? Says, let me see. Basili Arts. My comic is about this little guy, Bonehead. He's kind of a goof off, and he at the beginning of the book he's decided that he's going to start um, getting his stuff together, and he's going for a promotion at his. Oh, cool! I did say it right. Basili Arts. He decides he's going to go for a promotion, and then he's going to ask his girlfriend to marry him. And his girlfriend's this little ghost girl, and so sorry. So he decides he's going for a promotion, and I forgot my elevator pitch. I haven't been saying it very often lately. But then he finds out that his bosses, Denton Crux and this other guy, Mr. Shivers. I gotta find my cover. I can show these characters as I'm talking about them. But he finds out that secretly his bosses are closing the poison factory for good, which is going to mess up all his future plans. So then he steals this top secret project that they're working on so they can't close the factory. And then but it gets him launched into this big sci-fi interplanetary fiasco. And I've drawn the whole book. You're watching on Twitch. I started streaming to Twitch maybe in the past 3 months. I want to say 3 or 4 months. But if you check out the YouTube channel, also Wrangle Shank, I have all the pages I've inked on YouTube, so it's all kind of documented there. The whole book so far. You can kind of see what's going on. Also, after this video is posted, I usually put a link in the description that has a Bonehead cartoon I made, a 16-minute Bonehead cartoon, which, if nothing else, it kind of at least gives you an idea of who some of these characters are. Now, Denton Crux here isn't in it, but Mr. Shivers is, the other boss. It's got Mort, Bonehead's buddy, and Petunia, Bonehead's love interest. It's not nearly the same story as this book, but it's a good, I guess it's an introduction to the characters at the very least. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. I'm on most days. Good to meet you. Man, there was a while where I used to kind of give the little summary of the story at like every show, so I had it down. And now every time I try to go through it, I keep stumbling. Because half of it is me explaining like the beginning of the story, and the beginning of the story is like 150, 60 pages away. I guess I'm thinking about it a little less actively. Okay, he's got these little pockets. This jacket has every obnoxious thing on it. I didn't even draw the coattails in the pencil drawing, so I'll need to add coattails. I'm always complaining about this jacket. I like his jacket. It can be. It feels like I'm drawing it forever half the time. So there's an artist I watch on YouTube named Brian Shearer. I talk about him every once in a while. And he's done art for G.I. Joe and Transformers, both of which I don't really care about. But that might be a draw for a lot of people. I know my nephew really, really likes Transformers. I never got into G.I. Joe or Transformers ever. But anyway, he's drawn for G.I. Joe and Transformers, and but he's also doing his own book called Gunship Thunder Punch. I'll show it off a little bit just to give him some love. If I can find it. Where's any of my books? That's the thing. I've got so many books on the shelf now. Oh, no, that's his art book. I could show that off. Sure, since I don't see Gunship Thunder Punch right away. I'll show off his newest of his 2 art books. So, here's Brian Shearer's work. I want to put together an art book kind of like this soon. It's just got all his goofy doodles. Monsters, women. I like how he draws a lot of faces, and he does a lot of women's faces, and I feel like there's no like formula that exactly sticks by. Like it's all, he gets so much variety out of hair and expressions and stuff. He kind of, I don't know. I feel like I can never get women down myself. Here. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, he put up a little drawing tutorial today, and at the end of it, I was surprised to see my name was on it. Right, I put Ryan O. Connor, on something I follow him on, either locals or I used to like I have a I don't know $5 subscription to him on locals, and then I used to do a $5 subscription on YouTube, but I don't know if I still do that. But he put my name up in a list, and I don't think he's ever done that before. Here's Gunship Thunder Punch, signed Brian Shearer. Gunship Thunder Punch. It's about a woman whose son was kidnapped by Martians, and she steals this outdated gunship with a small band of criminals, and they're trying to get her son back. And he's working on the second book right now. You can back it on Indiegogo at getthisart.com. Nice and easy. Let's see if I can. I don't know. Anyway, that was the story. Is I was surprised to see that I was mentioned. My name popped up on at the tail end of his latest video. Oh, dude, I'm a slob. I spilled tea. What a schmuck. What a maroon. What an cow poop. What an imbecile. I saw some video of Mel Blanc this morning on Twitter or something. Twitter, I think. Man, I love Mel Blanc. I'm a big voice actor guy. I like voice actors a lot. Next to art, that would be my dream job, is doing voice acting. My favorites are Billy West. I like Charlie Adler a lot. He did on the show Cow and Chicken. He did Cow, Chicken, and the Red Guy. He was also IR Baboon. Let's see. He was Ickis on Real Monsters. I grew up in the 90s. So I like all these old 90s cartoons. What else did Charlie Adler do? Charlie Adler is like the decisions that he makes on the deliveries for his lines are insane. There is almost no way to replicate Charlie Adler in a way. Like, the guy's a nut. Like, if you ever listen to the Red Guy on Cow and Chicken, it's insane the way he delivers lines. It's insane. Mentally ill. In a good way. What else? What else is something that I would always listen to some character and I'd be like, why? How did you think to say it that way. I don't know. The guy's a force of nature. He's something else. Who else do I like? There's a documentary that John DiMaggio put out maybe 10 years ago called, maybe less than 10 years ago, but it's called I Know That Voice. I don't know where you can find it, but I know I probably bought it somewhere at one point digitally, and who the heck even knows where. I'll never see it again where I bought it probably. But I love that documentary, and it's just a bunch of voice actors talking about their craft. I like Bill Farmer, who did Goofy back in the day. I don't think he still does Goofy. No, couldn't be. But like Mickey and the Beanstalk kind of era, or what is it? The Three Musketeers, that kind of era. Goofy movie, obviously. Like that. I love his Goofy. That is Goofy to me. You can see like Frank Welker and Diedrich Bader. Diedrich Bader, not Diedrich Bader. That's a different guy. Who am I trying to say? D. Bradley Baker. My bad. D. Bradley Baker and Frank Welker do these like impossible like monster noises. Like they just, like tuning their sinuses to deliver like lion roars and ferocious monster noises. And they're, D. Bradley Baker's this kind of like almost pipsqueak looking guy, and he's like it sounds like demons are living inside of him. Then he also does like these like little. He does like cool little bug noises. I don't remember if that's in the documentary. But there's some real cool things you can do with your voice, and like I'm always trying to learn new tricks from voice actors. But yeah, it's weird to think that like I grew up with the same cartoons as all my friends, but I don't know, something about cartoons grabbed my brain by the throat and just started and just I don't know. my brain is just occupied by cartoons. Now I don't go sit around watching cartoons all day anymore, but I still I think about Bugs Bunny all the time. I think about Johnny Bravo all the time. I think about they just have this command over my brain. And I don't know why it's so powerful to me, but like Ren and Stimpy is like there's an ugliness to it. There's like it's gritty and grimy and dirty and like decidedly ugly in ways, but it's still like tremendously beautiful to me. Like I have this like this sense of awe when I think about Ren and Stimpy. That sounds crazy, but it's like so many brilliant things coalescing into this goofy, wild, insane thing. And I don't know. I really revere and respect and admire and I don't know. Ren and Stimpy breaks my brain. I like it so. I can tell there's too much ink on my brush to get the lines I want. Okay. It's out a tad, so my brush doesn't whack into the camera. Dang it, I'm still running into the camera. Okay, now we're good. Here's Bonehead. Going lighter on the line for the liquid inside. Just the simple act of varying your line weights can really make the art pop. So like the outer details on these bottles, I usually go like thicker on the outline, thinner on the details. Thinnest on the liquid is at least what I'm trying to do. You know, I have varying consistency and success on anything I do, but that's one idea I'm trying to keep in mind. I think I'm gonna go. So there's gonna be dialogue on here. So I'm not. I don't always get too detailed with my backgrounds. The main thing is you want the acting and you want room for dialogue. I'm gonna put the walls to black, I think, here. Just a simple line for the background. I need tea. Hit the edges. Just so I don't have to be as careful to not shoot past them. Oops. Okay. And now okay. Here's Bonehead. Oh, one thing I meant to do is call my buddy Ben today. He called me at the start of the weekend. We were talking for a little bit, but then we got interrupted. Or I got interrupted, rather. So I wanted to call him back today. He lives out in someplace. Kind of Seattle area. Here he's popping this bottle into his head. It's kind of like where he keeps. It's kind of like an extra pocket for him. And we'll see the inside of his head in the next couple pages. For the first time in the book. Actually, the inside of his head becomes a plot point pretty soon. I kind of like it when the title of something, even if it's just a name, like of a show or a book, I like when the title becomes relevant to the story. And I feel like, going inside Bonehead's head kind of makes the title Bonehead a little more relevant. In my mind, anyway. Yeah, that makes sense. Sure. Like the story kind of earns the namesake. Like if the name of the book or a show or something, if the name is like the name of the town, in my mind that tells me at some point the town has to become kind of a character almost. I don't know. I'm using that as an example because I have another book that I want to do, that I started years ago, that I'm planning on getting back to after I finish Bonehead, where like it's named this. The book has the name of the town that it takes place in, and I felt like when I was kind of working up the idea for that book, that was kind of the theory I developed. I was like, well, why call it Moon Valley unless the town has a big role in the story? Now, Bonehead is just this character's name, but we also go into a bone head in the story. I don't know. This isn't the deepest idea or thought I've ever had, so I don't know what else to say. Oh, you know what I wanted to do on the last page I did? There's a couple of spots I noticed that I should have done something. This should be like that. There's just a couple of tiny details I feel like I missed. Like his hand should have a drop shadow. I mean, the bottle's right next to his hand too. Okay. And then this panel, he needs a shadow. Here, let me pencil it because I'm afraid of commitment. No, I'm afraid to commit it to ink fact, unless I know it works. So there's that, and then this. What time is it? It's 8. It's almost 9 o'clock already. I need to get my laundry out of the dryer. Actually, I probably need to continue drying it. It's probably not totally dry, but I'll bet you the cycle is done. It's got to be. And then I gotta cook me some dinner. I'm gonna do some random little marks on the ground. That's all I needed for that in my mind. I'm going to be drawing this page for a bit longer. Here comes Denton Crux. Oh, I'm not drawing on screen. My bad. I have a bad habit of doing that all the dang time. There we go. His cheek, chin, neck, drop shadow, neck. Crossbones, bow tie. Make this little like is this an ascot? What is this exactly? Here's his collar. Let's see, here's his hand. His thumb has 2 joints. His fingers over here have 3. It almost looks like he has a 4th finger here, but that's the pocket on his jacket. I want to make that a little clearer, so I'm going to put this finger in front of his jacket by making the line bolder. I mean, when it's in color, that'll clarify it too, but if you can do it at the line art level, if you can add clarity at the line art level, that's even better, I feel. You know, when you're making a book or a comic or something in visual medium, the number one job is clarity. So if you don't want to take your readers or your viewers out of the out of the project by having them like their eye rest on something that confuses them and kind of occupies their attention. You don't want their attention to be focused on errors or something that's going to distract them from the subject matter. Okay. Okay. Here's his fist. You know what? I think I actually want this jacket to come down there. And I'll white out this line that I drew, because that lines up better. There we go. One of the hardest things to do is catch yourself on things like that. Like, I didn't draw the two sides of his jacket evenly. Just inconsistencies, mistakes. Sometimes the problem is being honest about your mistakes. Because I think people, I know I do, sometimes I have a problem where I'll justify my own shortcomings. And, you gotta fight your impulse to, give your mistakes a pass. That's just good advice in life. Like, don't make excuses for your shortcomings. Kind of like determine whether or not you're just making excuses, or if, there really is a place for what you're defending. I think I'm going to do this again, because it should be the other side of this thing that is thicker. This side. So this line, then this line. And I think I'm going to do the background black again. Part of my idea for this setting is that it's a very dark laboratory that they're in. I mean, that's just how I imagine it. See, I should have watched Stranger Things. I should have gotten some decent sleep and not wasted my morning. So now I'm thinking of all the things I still have yet to do today that I'm going to have to squeeze in. It's 9:00 p.m. Okay. There's that. I have not been doing my daily drawings on Instagram and Twitter. Like, I keep meaning to get back on the ball with that, and I keep not doing it. It is hard to squeeze everything into every day. I really do got to get back to that. I was doing it consistently for like the better part of 3 years. But, I try to squeeze these pages into, and a page typically takes about 2.5 hours. We're about an hour and a half into this one. Yeah, fairly reliably. The average page on this book has taken me 2.5 hours. Some I've done in like an hour. Some have taken me like 4 hours or so. But that's usually if I'm like screwing around a lot. I've got a rumbly in my tumbly. Time for something to eat. I think I'm gonna fry up some chicken after I get off here. See, there it is again. My mind just goes to cartoons. My stomach starts growling and I immediately think of Winnie the Pooh. Christopher Robin! Oh, did you see? So, Winnie the Pooh has gone into public domain recently. So now there's this Winnie the Pooh horror movie coming out. It looks like this psycho in a Winnie the Pooh mask. I don't really know anything about it other than it's happening. That just seems funny to me. Eyebrow wrinkles? I don't think many people do eyebrow wrinkles anymore. That's something I picked up from John Crispolucci's blog many, many, many years ago. He did a lot of posts about keeping volume in your drawings. And that was my small takeaway, was the eyebrow wrinkles. When your eyebrows raise, they push the meat of your eyebrows up. I used to read his blog every day for years. It's still out there. If johnKstuff.blogspot.com. Nothing too interesting on there these days. I don't think he's been updating it. Also, it's been a long time since he's updated with some good posts. He does like goofy doodles, and I'm a little over the goofy doodles. It's like I liked it when there was a bit more substance to his blog. And yeah, he just used to post some really cool lessons on there. Like I say, they should still all be there, but you'd have to do a little digging to get to it. Um, oh, I meant to get a picture of it, but yesterday my nephew was drawing Luigi's Mansion stuff in chalk on the, the back patio, and he was drawing gold mice, which I guess is a Luigi's Mansion thing. Then they drew a King Boo, and I tried to draw one of those just from memory. I drew like one of the blue ghosts that kind of pops up in the hallways, and I meant to take a picture of some of that stuff. My niece and nephews are all really into Luigi's Mansion these days. So my brothers, they both, or two of my brothers, not, I have three brothers, but two of my brothers, they recently bought some old Nintendo GameCubes, and they got the original Luigi's Mansion, and their kids have really gotten into that game. Now they're talking about trying to get their hands on like Mario Sunshine and some other old games from that era. What a ding dong. My honey, I know you belong to somebody new, but tonight you belong to me. It's been rolling around in my head for like the past hour. Patience and prudence. Oh, see what I did there? I missed some lines to indicate his hand on the other side. I didn't notice them earlier. There we go. Oh yeah. His other fingers are over here behind Bonehead's mouth. Okay. Way down by the stream, how sweet it would seem. In the silvery moonlight, my honey, I know you belong to somebody new. But tonight, you belong to me, just a little old me. Yeah, to fill in his pupils, I like to do just like a little stripe in the middle. So you can kind of, you get the highlight on top, is my thinking anyway, and then like a little glint of the iris of his eye. So I imagine if when I color his pupils here, it'll be like white on top and then just like a little sliver of red down here. When I eventually color this, I'm going to color it in something. Photoshop or probably Clip Studio Paint. Crooked teeth. It was 100 degrees as we sat beneath the willow tree, whose tears didn't care. They just hung in the air and refused to fall. It's a song called Crooked Teeth by Death Cab for Cutie. which has an animated video somewhere out there on YouTube and elsewhere. Animated by Rob Schraub with like cardboard characters, and he like just would piece like cardboard stuff on top of old mechanical toys and just or like make little puppets and stuff. And he did this cool video for Crooked Teeth. I think there's a different video for that song too, a different official music video as well. But like his was like an alternate official video. And that video is another thing that just gets me like I get overwhelmed watching that music video for Crooked Teeth. Like the song is perfect, the animation is perfect, and it's what he calls drawless animation, where it's just puppets and like little mechanical toys moving around, but it's done in such a style that I don't know, it's so like unique to Rob Schraub. And he has some shows that he's done in that style on Channel 101 back in the day. So if you go to channel101.com and look up Rob Schraub's stuff on there, you'll find like Ringwald and Moly, which is spelled like Molly Ringwald. But it's a show called Ringwald and Moly, and there's like 5-minute episodes or something like that. Twigger's Holiday is a really good one, and that stars him as Twigger. Sorry, I think we're a bit blurry. There we go. But Rob Schraub, wow, he's amazing. He also did the book Scud the Disposable Assassin. So he's made comics too. But yeah, my favorite thing he's done is that Death Cab for Cutie video. I'm not even really into Death Cab for Cutie, but I love that song and I love that video for that song. So if you can find Rob Schraub's video for Death Cab for Cutie, check it out. I watch it and I'm just like, I could work for 1,000 years and never make anything that beautiful, especially nothing that beautiful out of cardboard and cheap toys. And one time there was an auction on eBay for the head of the robot, like the close-up head of the robot that he used in that video, which is just like a hand puppet. There's a bid for it. He was auctioning it off on eBay, and I almost dropped $400 on it, and then somebody outbid me, and I couldn't justify going any higher. And I really wish I won that auction, because I would have really loved to own that, because it's so important to me. That video. Oh, I think I started to do his tie here, but he's holding his tie. Okay. So I'm going to use my favorite tool, whiteout. Oh wait, that's his hand. See, I'm king maker of mistakes. Mr. Mistake Maker. That's why I say if I can do a book, and I drew, so I did the pencils for this whole book already, right? And it wasn't until I inked like, I don't know, 50 or 60, maybe even more, maybe 100 pages of the book, I realized there was a huge continuity error in the story. So it's like, and then I had to like address it and fix the end of the story, which I still have to draw actually. So I have to redraw parts of the end of the book, but otherwise the whole book is already penciled. But it's not stopping me from making the book. And I always say, if I can make a book, if I can make a comic, anybody can do it. A big part of it is being honest with yourself about your shortcomings. Like I was saying something about that earlier. Like the story, does it work? Is it working? Or do you just wish you were done writing it? Now I'll say I did not wait for myself to be done writing it to start drawing it to begin with. I was like, I think the story's there. The dialogue really needs work though. But I can fix that as I go. And also, when I fixed that continuity error, I think it ended up making the book better, the story better. And it's like, as I'm drawing the pages, I'm always thinking about like, what can I do with this scene that like, can I explain this better? Can I do, like, how do I rationalize this a little stronger? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm always thinking about somewhere in the back of my mind, like what I can do to make this book a little more powerful than what I have. Because I had a big fraud complex about the whole story for a long time. But now I'm more confident in it than I've been. But anyway, like I say, anyone, if I can do this, anyone can do it. It's just, I think the secret is being honest with yourself about your mistakes, about whether or not it's like this works or that works or this drawing works or this plot point works. Does this character really need to be in this scene? Does this have, like that at least for me, that's the biggest thing. It's like I gotta be my boss and tell myself when I'm just wishing a page was done, or like, no, maybe you should keep working and keep your head down a little longer and then it'll be done. Stuff like that. Like right now, I just want to go to the bathroom and then make myself some dinner, get my laundry and put it away. Okay, I don't actually want to put my laundry away. Like I said earlier, that's my least favorite chore. But there's a million things a million reasons I want to like be done drawing this page for the day already. But I gotta finish a page is what I'm kind of holding myself to. And I don't know, I lost my train of thought a little bit. I forget what I was gonna say. But it's like, this is, you know, this is the assignment today. And you have to treat it with the importance that, you know, like my thing is, you know, allegedly being an artist is important to me. But if I don't treat it like it's important to me, then am I just kidding myself? Like I have to make myself make time for it. Because as much as I like drawing, as much as this book is important to me, I'm also very, very, very lazy. And I always have to trick myself out of being as lazy as I want to be. That is something that everybody should be constantly bucking, is their own laziness. Because, oh man, the laziness, for me anyway, I can see it. It will never end. And if I'm not trying to shake it, it will always win the day. It's so easy for laziness to win the day. Kind of a definition of laziness. But I'm really afraid of that because, like, making a graphic novel was an idea I had 10, 12 years ago. I really thought I was going to make a graphic novel 12 years ago. Even before that in high school, so like going on 20 years ago. Like 17 years ago or something like that. I don't know. 06. Well, that's when I graduated high school. But in the midst of high school, I thought I was making a graphic novel. And I never did that yet to this day. So it was like, once my 20s ended, I suddenly started taking my art a lot more seriously. Like, whoa, I thought I really thought I was going to make that happen in my 20s, and it just never happened. And now my 20s are gone, and it's like time just keeps slipping away. And if I'm going to do this stuff, I better make it happen now. So it's my advice. Don't wait for your 30s to make a book. Don't wait for your 20s, even if you can help it. Live for today. First of all, tomorrow isn't guaranteed. Today is barely guaranteed. No one ever, pulls out of their driveway expecting to be rear-ended. You know, I'm just saying, don't put off tomorrow what you can do today. Until tomorrow what you can do. Don't put off, don't put off what. You get the idea. I'm not going to say it, apparently. I'm not going to say the sentence the right way. Don't put off till tomorrow what you ought to do today. Look at how rude this guy is, just shoving his whole dang arm into this guy's eye. Look, everybody, I'm almost done with another page. Okay, I'm just going to do one more little touch of a back. Don't want that black and that black to clash. Maybe I'll just do a line. And it can be a color break. Or maybe I'll just do machines back here. There's a bunch of machines. About the room as well. Okay, I think that's going to work. I'll call that a page, and I do really have to go to the bathroom. So, I'm calling it. This has been today's edition of Ink the Book Show. This book is getting inked. All right. I'll be back. I don't even know when tomorrow, but I'll be back at some point tomorrow. And that's the Ryan Ink the Book Show guarantee. Bye, everybody. I like ya.